So, listen up. It's time to address a serious issue: a lack of respect in your relationship. All right? You deserve to be treated with dignity and admiration. But if you're feeling disrespected by your partner, it's time to take action. Today, we're diving into why your partner might not be showing you the respect you deserve, and most importantly, how to change that dynamic. Hey there, I'm Cynthia Peralta, your guide through the world of dating and relationships. I'm very passionate about not only these topics, but many other topics and love and romance. So, switching gears a little bit today because I'm going to offer some advice tailored specifically for you, gentlemen. All right. But before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your buddies. And don't forget to drop a comment below. Let me know if you're actually facing these disrespect situations in your relationships, or if you're currently dating with, a partner who just doesn't give you the respect you deserve. All right. So, all right, let's tackle this together. So, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. When I talk about not tolerating disrespect from a woman, I'm not advocating for any form of abuse or even toxicity. That's never okay. And I'll never support that kind of behavior. What I'm saying is that respect is fundamental in a healthy relationship. Without it, you're not going to have the fulfilling and happy partnership that you deserve. So let's break it down. If a woman isn't showing you respect, there could be a number of reasons behind it. All right. So, let me start by saying this. Let's talk about something incredibly important: being a yes man. You know, the kind of guy who says yes to everything that she wants, right? So, now I'm sure you've heard the saying, happy wife, happy life, right? I believe in a different saying that has been coined, and I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it, but I'll tell you guys here. Happy spouse, happy house. Because why? Because happiness goes both ways. It's not just a happy wife, happy life. It's a happy spouse. She has the obligation and responsibility, I should say, to make you happy as well as you making her happy. Okay? But let me tell you, it's not just about her happiness. It's about both of you being happy because, hey, it goes both ways, like I said, fellas. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. It's not necessarily a bad model to live by, right? But it's definitely got some misconceptions attached to it. Sure, making your woman happy is important, but not at the expense of your own desires, beliefs, and your values. When you start sacrificing who you are just to please her, that's when things start to go south. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, I already know this, Cynthia. How do I get to the main points here? Stick around. I'm going to dive into it, okay? You see, when you constantly give in and let her have her way, you're not just diminishing yourself, you're also losing respect in her eyes. She'll see that she can walk all over you, manipulate you, and even control you whenever she wants. And let me tell you, that is not a good look. That is not attractive. All right? You need to learn how to say no. And hey, saying no doesn't mean being disrespectful or rude, like I said before, right? It just means setting boundaries and standing up for yourself. You've got to draw a line and make it clear that there are certain things you're not willing to tolerate. So, fellas, be true to yourself, know your worth as a man, and understand what's important to you. That way, you'll be able to recognize when she's crossing the line or asking you to do things that make you incredibly uncomfortable or slightly uncomfortable. Sure, there might be some compromises here and there in a relationship, but are you losing yourself in the process? You've got to stay true to who you are. And remember, you can only do that if you know who you are in the first place. All right, guys, let's dive into number 2. So she doesn't respect you because you don't respect yourself. It's as simple as that. If you don't know who you are, if you don't value yourself, and if you don't have high self-worth, she's going to pick up on that. You might have this mindset of feeling lucky to have her, right? And you're willing to do anything to keep her by your side. But let me tell you something. The harder you try to hold on to her without respecting yourself, the more likely you are to actually lose her. Even if she doesn't physically leave the relationship, she'll emotionally check out. And before you know it, she'll be seeking comfort and validation from another man. That's the cold hard truth. You may not want to hear it, but that is the cold hard truth. I know it sounds harsh, but as a woman myself, I can tell you that low self-esteem is a major turnoff. It's unattractive and it diminishes your masculine energy, which is a big deal. That's why I'm here to help you guys tap into your own masculine energy. All right. Excuse me. You can't afford to compromise your self-worth for the sake of a relationship. That's a slippery slope that will only lead to more problems down the line. So here's the bottom line. No pun intended. Okay. Excuse me. I'm getting a little scratchy throat here. Been talking a lot today. Okay. Bottom line. If you want her to respect you, you've got to start by respecting yourself. It's as simple as that, fellas. Honestly. So, all right. Now let's talk about something else that is also crucial. Needed to keep this in mind. Fear of losing yourself in a relationship. This is number 3 on our list because it's a biggie. You cannot let your fear of losing her overshadow, your own sense of self. Now, don't get me wrong. You should absolutely honor and cherish your woman. Treat her like the queen she is. That's important. You obviously picked her for a reason. You chose to date her. And it's not just because of her looks, right? Hopefully not. Majority of it is, right? But you picked her for a reason. But if she thinks that she can walk all over you and you'll just take it, well, you're in for a rough ride, my friend. You've got to establish some boundaries and make it clear that you're willing to do your part in the relationship, but you won't tolerate being disrespected or treated poorly. It's not about leaving at the first sign of trouble. No, not at all. But rather instead, it's about knowing your worth and not being afraid to walk away if things aren't working out. Sure, we all have our off days, and relationships do require a lot of effort from both sides. But if you've tried everything to fix the problem and nothing's working, then you've got to be brave enough to consider walking away. If she can't respect that, then maybe she's not the right one for you guys. Or maybe she's just not ready for a healthy relationship. Some people, especially when they're still young, they're still figuring out the dating world. And I do agree that there are some things such as it's a form of PTSD. I call it, PISD, which actually is, sort of a response to infidelity. Instead of post-traumatic stress disorder, right? Post-infidelity stress disorder. It's triggers that are there. And if she hasn't healed, then she's not ready for a healthy relationship with you. And if you haven't healed, the same goes for you fellas, all right? We need to stop spreading that vicious cycle of unhealthy patterns and leaving other people worse than we found them. And that goes for both of you, right? Understanding this will help you to stay true to yourself and not lose sight of who you are in the process. So remember, guys, don't let fear dictate your happiness. You deserve better than that. All right, now, excuse me, we're going to dive into reason number 4 of why she might not be respecting you. This is going to be sounding probably a little bit harsh, but it's the reality check that you guys probably need, okay? Excuse me. All right, it's because, highly likely, or not, you haven't laid out a vision and a plan for your life. Now, what does that really mean? It's about finding your purpose, guys. Even if you haven't quite figured out your purpose yet, showing a woman that you have direction and goals in life, that you're willing to put in the work to achieve them, that's what earns respect. And notice I didn't say just your woman's respect. It earns respect from everybody, especially those that know you. Sure, there's an argument to be made that even without a clear purpose, she can still respect you for having goals and aspirations. I totally get that. But if you want to guarantee that respect, you've got to find your purpose and make it your priority. Your world can't revolve solely around her. You've got to focus on finding your path and living your purpose. That is what will earn her respect. There's a great book by David Data. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the book is called The Way of the Superior Man. And it talks about never prioritizing your woman over your own purpose. Because when you do that, you're actually losing her attraction and even her respect. You're showing her that you can't stick to your own plans or stay focused on your own goals. How can she rely on you to be the man that she needs if you can't even stick to your own purpose? She needs to feel safe. She needs to feel protected. She needs to feel supported. She needs to know that you're going to be a provider. It's all of those things encompassed into one. So focus on your goals. Stay focused. All right? Focus on finding yourself, finding your purpose, and putting your plans into action. That means if it means being a little bit selfish, hey, go for it. I encourage you. And if she's a good woman, she's going to stand by your side and she's going to support you and push you and elevate you. Behind every powerful man is an incredibly amazing woman. I still believe that still to this day. So, like I said, find yourself, find your purpose, put your plans into action. All right? But to sum it all up, guys, you've got to establish healthy boundaries in your relationships. All relationships, especially with your significant other. You've got to show that you can lead by example, be the masculine empire, Tarzan, Hulk, not Hulk, excuse me, because I don't want you to be violent like Hulk, but you get what I'm saying. Being a tender, loving person doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a pushover, but being the anchor, the rock of that family, the rock of that relationship, leading by example, communicating effectively, and even taking control of your emotions. That's why I said scratch out the Hulk situation. Okay? But you get my point, right? I hope you do. Take control of your emotions. I can't tell you the most powerful thing a man can do, and I think this should be a number of its own. This should probably be number 5, is a man who can control his emotions. Oh my goodness, what a turn on that is. When a man knows that even though he's upset about something, but he can keep his cool, and he can keep it, to instead of a level, 8, 9, 10, he can simmer it down to a 2, 3, 4 and calm her down as well. A little bit of, that's that healthy version of jealousy, for example. If you see your woman, picture this, right? So you see your woman, chopping it up with some guy, and you just went to the bathroom and you came back out, which, I'm not saying that this is okay. I'm just giving you an example so you can picture this, right? Instead of you flying off the handle, which some guys tend to do, they get upset, they don't know how to control their emotions, comes over and starts flying off the handle, and who the hell are you talking to? Excuse my language, what the F or whatever, right? Not only is it embarrassing, but you don't do those things in public, first of all. The other thing is, what does it say about you? What does it say about you as a man who can't control his emotions, who can't control his feelings? Understandably, you're going to get a little jealous. You're going to probably ask a question like, hey, who was that guy that you were just talking to? But super calm. No reason to fly off the handle. No reason to get upset, to go into a tangent about what she probably was doing. And believe me, I've been on the receiving end of that, and I tell you what, it is not attractive. Not by any means. A little bit of healthy jealousy is attractive. And what do I mean by healthy jealousy? What does that look like? Like I said, I kind of mentioned it a little bit. Hey, who's that guy you were talking to? Oh, I was starting to wonder. Make a little joke, right? Make it a little snide little remark to kind of, show that sort of like passive but jealousy, right? Of like, oh, I thought you were going to try to leave me for that man. Jeez, and then kind of laugh it off with a little cute little smirk on your face. Use your charm, guys. Believe it or not, charm goes a long way too. Maybe that should be number 6. I don't know. All right. But you get my point. All right. I can't tell you how much not controlling your emotions can be an absolute turnoff. It really is. Right? Control your emotions, gentlemen. Communicate effectively. What do I mean by that? Communicating in a way that really sets the point across without going overboard or bringing up the past, for example, or bringing up stuff that happened, 6 months ago, 6 weeks ago, whatever it is. Like, get over it, move on, move past it, get into your healthy self, and learn to communicate in a positive way. If you understand or you feel something that doesn't kind of feel good for whatever reason, but you know you need to bring it up to her, do so in a very calm, charming, and loving way. And I promise you, she's going to receive that so incredibly well. And if she doesn't, then there might be something wrong. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to diss any women, but maybe there's some resentment there. Maybe there's some frustration from something that might have happened. I don't know. I'm not in the situation. I don't know the details. Like I said, I'm a personal relationship coach, right? So you can reach out to me directly and we can work through this. If you are facing these issues right now, or if you have faced those situations and you want to be ready for a new relationship so that you can be healthy in a future relationship, then please, let's work together. Reach out to me. I can guide you. And I promise you, my prices are incredibly reasonable. Okay, so please, control your emotions. Stay calm. Show some passion. Show some compassion. Show some empathy. Show some control, self-control, right? But doing it in a way that also communicates in a very effective manner. All right? Don't lose sight of what's important to you. All right? Now, like I said, being overly emotional or unable to manage yourself properly is a major turnoff. Take it from me. All right? You want to express yourself, sure, but don't let your emotions control you all the time. When you do these things, you'll earn more respect from her and build a healthier, more successful relationship. And I know that there's a lot more we could discuss here, but I just wanted to give you a quick message on why she might not be, especially right now, providing you the respect that you want and what you can actually do to change that. Oh, and one more thing. If she doesn't respect you, maybe she's just not the one for you. You heard me right. That might be hard to admit to yourself. But if she can't respect you, even though you've done all these things correctly, it's possible, fellas, and I'm not saying that you should jump out of your marriage and find somebody else or whatever. I'm not advocating for that, okay? I just want you to keep it in mind. And there's ways to bring your relationship to rekindle that love and that passion with each other. Like I said, reach out to me, I can help you. But I want you to keep that in mind. It's possible that if she still doesn't respect you after you've done all the things correctly, maybe she's just not the one for you. Maybe she's just not that into you. All right? All right, guys. Let's have a real talk here now. And I know we've been talking very seriously now, but sometimes you might be doing everything right, but there's still something missing, like I said, right? And that something might just be her. She doesn't belong in your life. She doesn't fit in your plans, and she's not the one to walk the path with you. You've got to be able to accept that, to understand the difference between what you want and what you need. There might be plenty of women that you want, but that doesn't mean they're good for you in the long run. You've got to recognize that when there's no real connection there, when your attraction to her is based on surface level things, or just getting caught up in the moment, you need to feel a genuine connection, a sense of peace, and the ability to communicate with ease. If that's not there, I hate to say it, guys, but she's just not the one for you. And if she's not the one for you, well, you can almost guarantee that respect will start to fade in the relationship. All right? So, regardless, if she's not the one for you, it's just not going to work out. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right? The truth is, fading of respect in a relationship, it's one of those things where you can save it. There can be a Hail Mary pass here that we can work on. But if she's not the one for you and she's just not that into you and she's lost respect for you, whether it was in the past or whatever, for whatever reason, you can try and gain that back. But it's a possibility that as we work together, you might discover that actually, you know what? She's not the one. And that's okay too. You have to, like I said before, right? You have to be willing to walk away, to understand that your self-respect and your peace and your ease and your comfort is of utmost importance. And if she's not giving that to you, then it's time for you to reevaluate what your next step is going to be. And I urge you, don't just give up just like that. But it's possible that that might be a reason for why you do walk away. It's because she's just not the right one for you. Okay? All right. So that's it this time. All right. So we're wrapping it up here. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and please, please, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I promise you there's going to be some more way juicier content coming up. Also, let me know in the comments if you've ever dealt with these kinds of situations before. I can almost bet that majority of you guys listening have. And if there's some women in the audience that are listening to this right now, tell me as well. Because guess what? There is also a feminine energy motivation channel on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I also have an Instagram. I will share that with you guys. The Masculine Energy Motivation channel also has its own Instagram, which is always in the description. So feel free to tap into that as well, where I will be posting on a regular basis different things. Anything from quizzes of how to get your woman to respect you, topics like this, as well as motivational stuff, etc. So, all right. I won't continue on. I'm going to wrap it up here. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.